Hello, I am Brandon, the humble host of Actual Play Broadcast. This will serve as an introduction to our broadcast for the time being. As we record and publish more, it shall change. We are still getting things set up, so apologies for any errors, skips, or silence that may occur. Everything will be smoothed out in due time. Please enjoy our broadcasts of various RPGs, and remember to tune in for more every week, as continuations or new adventures will be posted at such times. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
It gets me every time, even though I expect it.
Up, Craig.
Craig, you
No
didn't.
one
You don't
likes
deserve
you,
that.
Craig. Go away.
Oh, I forgot I can actually turn down.
Thanks, Craig.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Loud. I mean, Craig doesn't seem too loud to me, but you know.
I just remembered I can actually turn Craig down.
Yeah.
Don't know why I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Talk dirty to me, Craig.
Recording.
Please don't. Nope. That's the line. You crossed it.
Sorry.
We need to go deeper.
This is the go even further beyond.
Thank you everybody for listening to another episode of Actual Play Broadcast. Tonight we are playing Aldfair.
Yes. It's been a hot minute for us.
Shit, we are.
Y'all won't notice.
Several thousand years. Always.
Yeah. We don't have any huge announcements other than some things in the pipeline, but things we're not going to talk about because who knows what the upload schedule will look like for those things when that time comes.
Good.
I feel like we can accelerate some of the uploads, but
uploaded when they get uploaded. As we get more of a backlog, we'll have a more definitive. This is what gets uploaded when. But right now, we just survive.
We just vibe it.
There are right now at the time of recording, it's Pathfinder, Close Phase, and Shadowrun. There are at least 2 other games in the pipeline. Eventually.
Yeah.
There are only 5 other games in the pipeline eventually.
Well, I would say more than the 2, but we haven't actually done any prep for the other 2 because there are some short adventure things I would like to do in between stuff here and there.
Our scheduling is done by Zigros.
Those don't really need to be prepped that much for. So those will happen when they happen.
Yeah.
But anyways, so let's hop into the recap.
Many things.
Yeah. I guess, do you guys want me to do it?
Sure. Yeah, you do it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Such as your
well, I guess I'll start on my character first as I get my notes open. I went and had a sleepover with the first beast because he's a cool dude, honestly, and we like him. I'm gonna go in chronological order now. I have it. We have I asked about Alexandris. Her stance, even by his account, on the whole Het here versus the world thing is pretty foggy. We don't know if she is an ally playing double agent, if she's just going full Switzerland, or if she is on Het here's side and playing it cool. We found out more exactly that there are 7 children of Het here. We have 3 of them that are still alive and about somewhere. Some of them are seemingly more active than others. I know we confirmed the traitor mortal is Nephilim, that was married to Yevtar, and he's just a shell of himself now as a lich who rages on, and if we get the chance, really putting him down is kind of the mercy. But it seems like him getting put down never lasts. He always just kind of comes back around. That said, as heralds of Terminus, that might change for us eventually. we know that the first son of Headgear was cast down before the shattering, and I believe there was inklings of that being the dude you saw in your dreams, right, Tilk?
No,
I
my
know.
situation's weird. It's
Yeah,
familial.
I know yours ended up being like a dude who was just around, and then we got a greater vision of him coming out to like a war in the heavens.
So what we saw was whoever was trapped in Tilk's psyche is actually, from what I was able to surmise, one of Tilk's ancestors, the seventh son of Hetir. And he was freed by, we believe, I'm gonna fuck up the names. I always fuck up the names. Cronus.
We had
Oh, Zikris,
God.
Cyrus, and scroll down Zanera.
Zanera.
Yes.
Zikris, Cyrus,
Okay.
Zanera.
Did
Had to
I
go to
not
my
write down my
cosmology.
pantheon? God damn
Part of
it!
my-
I'm putting together a whole ass lexicon in my notes, and I forgot the pantheon names.
I've got them if you want me to send it over at some point. They're also on the old server.
Yeah, at some point. We also discovered, very important, Gorath does not hate the brisket. It's not
Thank
sure
God
about it.
that's
But he
gotten
doesn't
it down.
dislike it. What was that?
Thank God that's gotten it down.
Yes. I know. I have less distinct notes because Sveta not there. But you got to talk to your great insert amount of greats grandfather. I fucking of course I'm look away for a second. Liana.
Yes.
And he revealed upon you some of the secrets of the world, in that like how shit may or may not go down, and it sounds like he is formulating his own plans still.
Yeah, I learned because I had asked him about the origins of devils and demons, and they are, according to him at least, yet more people cast away from Salion and Ahios, potentially. I mean, I guess it might have been pre-sundering, so it could have been Ezra.
Yeah, it sounds like it was before the shattering.
Or no, they were tossed into Ozarel, so it was post.
Oh, you're right.
Or that had warped, collectively called Misbegotten. Some former gods, some Nephilim, etc. Caecilian, according to himself, was a god previously. So I suppose he is somewhat down-powered, but not very much. I guess it depends on how an archdevil compares to a god in this setting. Haven't seen them like fight each other or anything, so never know. But his plans seem to primarily involve
extracts. It fucking is a trip.
what?
I was saying, we also found out that if we drink the alcohol magically made from Tilk's expired extracts, it is a trip and a half.
Oh yeah. Wait, was
go
that
on.
muted like that whole time?
No.
Oh, okay. Say, what was I gonna say? Oh, right.
I just
Caecilian-
heard a long pause. So.
Oh yeah, I was talking.
No. We heard you talk. I was just there was you paused for a few seconds, so I was filling air.
Oh, Caecilian's plans seem to be primarily about unsundering the world and bringing magic back to its former power. Since during the time of the shattering or sundering, Hetir also weakened magic for mortals.
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet if the sundering itself is what caused that, and then the magic was like a side effect of it, or if it was just another thing he did. Gotta unravel that a bit. But Caecilian wants full power back, basically, from what I can tell, and I kind of do too. So
Yeah.
whether it's a good thing or not for Caecilian to get that, don't know.
Yeah. In my own dreams, I played the part of some woman who had a family, so that's weird. went to some weird academy to train and become like a bird knight. They found connection or made bonds and connected with these large birds that were intelligent, with blue feathers and black eyes, and they'd ride them. Then she fell in love while at the academy, and her partner disappeared after exams, and she went out trying to find him, only to get fucking striked by murder birds, along with everyone that she brought with her. They advised her not to do it, but she did it anyway, and I got to feel all of that from both sides, because empathic connections. That wasn't fun.
Murder birds.
I know they're murder birds. You can't tell me
first
those
off-
weren't the murder birds.
I'm so excited.
Urstal's paranoia got increased. I didn't know that was possible, but it did.
Oh yeah, our style is not having a good time of his own.
I will hunt that fucking red vampire.
Oh yeah, he found out that his brother, confirmed, is a skin suit. We'd suggested that, or suspected that. Jesus Christ, I can't speak today. Suspected that since we first found him and got charisma damage, but now we know, and it's kind of fucked up.
If he has
Yes.
any kin, I will kill them.
Yeah, and suspiciously, I do not have much in the way of notes on Rhea's time. Or did Rhea just sit in on Liana talking to her grandpa?
No, Ray had her own thing.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't have that now that I look through my notes again.
And for that, I am trying to find my notes because I'm sure I wrote it down somewhere.
Stall.
Raggy.
I remember the gist of it. I don't remember all of the details.
A reminder would be nice.
It was I don't remember how this actually began. I believe it started with a dragon being killed and its consciousness being
Oh, right.
somehow in a
Yeah,
gem.
yeah.
I'm not sure how that happened. I don't know if that was naturally occurring or if it was magic.
So the general gist that I got from the dream, at least, was that there was this dragon-born fellow that carried an egg of some sort.
Oh yeah, it was a dragonborn that carried an egg until like some kobolds stole it.
Yeah, and then it ended up in human hands.
Mm-hmm.
It was an orb.
An orb.
But yes.
An orb of some
Yeah.
kind.
Rhea pondered her orb.
Yeah, and I remember the vision ending off with the humans having to stow it under/in a baby as some inquisitors came in to their home and asked for their shit very nicely with swords.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the perspective of the vision shifted from the orb to the child.
In that moment, yeah, which suggests that
Yeah.
it went into the child.
But who could the child be? It's a mystery.
Pay the DLC to find out.
Yeah.
Damn.
No.
Ray also had a visitation of sorts, if you remember.
Oh yeah. The good old fashioned family trauma.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Her
Oh, I
brother said
forgot about
hi.
that.
Oh, that was a great time.
We asked hi, how you doing, bro? And bro got really upset.
Yeah. So she got a little vision where her brother contacted her mentally and was being the most stable individual in the entire world.
Mm.
And not at all super creepy and also extremely worrying. Where he promised he would hunt her down and find her and rescue her. You are
Whether
being
she liked
rescued.
it or not.
Please do not resist.
Perfectly reasonable.
It did not
POV
sound
most sane
unhinged at
vampire ever.
all.
The only reason you would have fought against me was that they did something to you.
Yeah, exactly.
You said
Hmm.
POV most sane vampire.
I mean, yeah.
He's not doing too much or doing great. Alternatively, I don't know.
I mean, I guess his new career is going well, apparently.
So
He's looking for
Moving
a
on up,
promotion.
according to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a matter of perspective.
He's about to create an opening in the position above him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
a lot of
He's
vertical
about to
mobility.
get promotions.
It's all coming up Millhouse or something.
But that was then. This is now.
Yeah.
Did
And I
we
don't
go
think
over-
Ray has actually talked to anyone about that. We left
No,
off.
because we had all of our dreams and visions and everything, and we ended the session.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
which is
just
why
a
I wanted
sleepover.
everybody to be here for this session.
Mhm.
While we postponed. Did we talk about what Tilk saw in his
Oh yeah.
flower-induced
Coma.
vision, dream / maybe astral projection?
We glanced upon it. So Tilk watched the war in the heavens occur. Occurring, witnessed. We don't know entirely. Tilk definitely
I feel
doesn't.
like it's very right now happening.
But Tilk's ancestor is the seventh son of Hetir.
Family
Tabor.
reunions are going to be awkward.
Yep. And he was freed, at least from what Tilk can tell and what Tilk witnessed, by one porcelain feminine form, one feminine form covered in porcelain plates, likely Zanara. One with long black hair and a robe of starlight, Zikros, and one
Yeah.
wrapped in a cloak, but that was not easily identifiable as male or female, but potentially female based on frame or just, a smaller man. This individual did eventually say that they'd be interested in talking with Tilk and his friends before booping him back to reality. Which is strange considering that the flower that he got visions for was from a follower still loyal to Nelvanderous. So Tilk's trying to sit here and play connect the dots without all the math present. But the sights and sounds were a battle watching angels fighting angels. The pale, sunken, translucent face believed to be Cyrus. And says she'd like to speak to us in the future. And Tilk would really like to talk to Lou. That has rocketed it to the top of his list of things to do. Lou is the leader of the Followers of the Bone.
Yeah. I can remember who it was that gave you the flower. It wasn't Lou, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was a cleric.
Yeah.
Well, Lou's
Wow.
cleric, I think.
Palmer gets no fucking respect in this party except for all the.
I'm
Why
bad
you
with
gotta
names.
diss
I'm
Palmer
sorry.
like that?
I didn't get a chance to say the
Palmer's
man's
chill.
name.
He was nice.
Yeah, Palmer's the most chill dude so far.
Yeah, and
He's
he's
just
still
a normal guy.
worships
Invented the
Nalzandris and
concept of mixing lemonade tea together.
God. And he still worships Nalzandris, and Tilk likes that, but Tilk doesn't know how to feel about a lot of things right now involving gods.
Yeah.
It's all
gods
very
and
confusing.
monsters.
Well, we're going to open up in the next morning. I think it'll probably be most appropriate to begin with Sveta who is almost certainly waking up in a cold sweat.
No, I'm waking up in a screaming sweat.
Fair. Valid.
There is a lot of like, because she knows where she went to sleep, but like when you're startled awake like that, and not in a great mind space, and you wake up and I forget where I am, and they're everywhere, maybe not the best thing.
Sure.
So like she kind of like startles awake, and then, one moment.
Heck. I think this is the moment he warned us he was going to have to mute briefly.
Yep.
Yeah.
The timing just awful.
Well, we'll come back to him then. Let's start with eeny, meeny, miny. You know what? We'll just go from the top of the list. So,
Fuck.
it's
I knew what that meant.
reality. The rays of dawn are coming in through your window. You feel like you slept. Don't necessarily feel like you rested. But, you got your full rest. Mechanically speaking.
He kind of just sits up. He didn't look at the flowers. It's still good to go.
It's still alive. It doesn't seem to it's not as vibrant as it was, but it's alive. Also, as I recall last session, some of you have new features that change aspects of yourselves. Which those will now be in effect. So how is Tilk different?
So Tilk's skin is a little reflective. As being an Aasimar, his blood is no longer the only thing on him that is a little strange, as his flesh now has a slight iron tint to it, and it comes with the reflection. Tilk, visibly alarmed by this, he will start going through his stuff and actually wrap himself up in a blanket so as to not draw attention.
Sure. Okay.
Because I don't know if we ever established this, that's not usual for Aasimar to start showing.
No.
Oh no, I look weird because of my planar ancestors. That must be awful.
Shut up.
I can still walk on my normal legs and didn't have to be carried around for 4 days. I think it's still a win.
Just because you win the weird contest doesn't mean others can't be upset too.
Everybody's body horror is valid. Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Okay. So
I'm just messing around.
You're coming to grips.
Yep.
Now that Dami's back, we're gonna hop back over there. We'll come back.
Sorry about that.
You're fine.
It's fine.
So she startles awake and has to take several moments to remember that she is not being impaled on a thorny tree, nor being dead.
Yeah, you come to in this darkness. And
one of the first things she does is cast dancing lights.
Yeah, like as you're casting dancing lights, you do hear and see this wall of silvery white fur shifting. And that like witch light from the night before emerges, lighting up even more of the space. And the massive wolfish face of Gorath is staring down at you expectantly.
she will she kind of registers that Goreth is there and only can kind of in the throes of fear react the same way she's reacting to being surrounded by bones and the stench of death. But as she starts to just slow her hyperventilating and calm down, she shakes her head. Sorry. I think I know why I have trauma now.
Oh, he says in that archaic kind of sort of elven.
Mm-hmm. She continues to try to shake the images from her mind, at least for the time being. Yeah, I'd been having a panic in odd places the last day, and I don't know if reincarnation or having a bit of soul in me. I'm new territory. I had a vision of someone's death. I was impaled on a tree. I was eaten alive from two different perspectives.
Curious.
I saw these.
My knowledge of the mortal world is limited.
I saw these white bird things with long, sharp beaks and brown eyes, and I suppose some of their feathers had a bit of gray in them, but they swooped down and they struck from above, even being in the sky already.
No creature I recognize.
I suppose perhaps I should be worried then.
It has been a long time since I have been cut off and isolated. While there are myriad things that live here, that does not mean everything has a representation here. There can be life I have never seen before there on that mortal plane.
She gives a small nod. Oh, I'm sorry for waking up like that. Not the most pleasant thing, I'm sure.
It is fine. The day is starting soon, anyways. I must go hunt. You are free to go as you please. And you can hear stone moving where the entrance / exit normally is.
She'll do a little bit of exploring with that blessing. Partially to try to get her mind off of what she just witnessed, and partially out of her own curiosity for where Goreth lives for all intents and purposes.
Oh, so you're gonna follow him?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so he gets up and seeing that you're following, the Witchlight will follow, and he will stalk to the other end of this massive cavern, which is pretty big. Actually getting to walk the full breadth of it. And it goes off into a bit of a narrower passage. There are some splitting off tunnels, some small, some big. Some big enough that it looks like he could fit through. Sorry. suddenly burping.
Yeah.
And eventually there is light ahead, and stepping out, it's not painfully bright. It seems dawn is beginning, and you think you are seeing at least what you have heard descriptions of from travelers, what could be a jungle. Massive, lush trees with these very long and broad leaves. It's almost like somebody put a fern on top of a tree instead of normal branches and leaves. And it's just an ocean of green, dense jungle and underbrush, with vines and all kinds of plant life. And there is myriad sounds of animals out and about, many of which you would not even begin to know what to identify them as. You even believe you hear distant like roars that to you would potentially ping as draconic, but there is a different sort of bellow to them that would imply maybe that's not correct. But one thing is for sure, this place is vast and wild. There is no indication of taming to this land. There's no indications of civilization as far as you can see. Just nature.
Interesting. She'll do her like spell prep there, at like the mouth of the cave.
Okay.
And once she's gotten her spells for the day, she's gonna just as a like helpful reminder of a direction, she'll put an arcane mark near the entrance.
Cool. Give me a perception check for
Absolutely.
spending your time out here.
Yeah, she's gonna try not to go too far, but she is incredibly curious because this doesn't look like the Feywilds at all.
No.
$16?
Yeah, so you're hanging out, doing your spell prep and everything, and while you're doing that, Gorath stalks off into the jungle, disappearing eerily quiet. Despite his immense size, he has this uncanny ability to just go unheard. And as soon as he is out of sight, you don't even see like a wake in the underbrush from where he has passed. There are no prints behind him, nothing. It seems like nobody would be able to hunt this hunter, potentially.
I mean, if he's the first beast, that makes sense. God, I hope there's not just a normal ass creature that could beat his ass.
But you're hanging out and you're occasionally looking up at the skyline, and you can see as the sky brightens, some of the clouds part, and you can see from the clouds parting the gray green backdrop in the distant horizon is not a side effect from just lighting condition. You begin to realize this silhouette of a mountain range, and one mountain that sort of towers over all others as part of that mountain range. And you can make out silhouettes dozens of them circling it in the sky. They're like dots at this distance, but the fact that they are that far away and still visible indicates just how big they might be up close.
Mm-hmm. The others won't. Well, I suppose everyone will believe me, but I imagine I'd be hard pressed to if I didn't see this. She's gonna like take some plant samples. Particularly like if she can find anything small that looks like it's growing from bushes or what have you.
What are you trying to grab that's small? Like a fruit or something?
Just if I see any like plants that seem harvestable.
I mean, you spit in a direction, you're going to find a plant.
That's what I mean.
It depends on what you mean by
like,
harvestable.
If I can see anything that sticks out to me as like this maybe like a small weed that maybe I can identify as like akin to something that's used for medicinal purposes, or berries or what have you, stuff I can easily pocket and take back home.
You can definitely find some berries. All of the plants here are completely foreign to you. You've never been in a place like this.
Yeah.
To give you context, back in Aldfair, there was some jungle-ish areas in the far south, just south of the swamplands. But the jungles that were there were, as far as you know, not populated, because they really acted as this is where the Drow Kingdom begins. Because the majority of what jungles were in the old world were controlled by the Drow Kingdom on the southern portion of the continent.
Mm-hmm.
There were allegedly some in Wood Elf territory, but rumors and speculation as far as you're concerned. Because if there were in Wood Elf territory, they were very far away from home. So you have heard mumblings and ramblings about jungles. You would have heard some mentions about some things from jungles in Zaban's notes, but you, up to this point, have had no experience with anything from a jungle. So
Yeah.
all of this is brand new. Obviously, there are things that are recognizable as like, well, this is a fern. This is obviously a weed. Well, that's matches the description of what a vine is.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot thicker and sturdier. And, shaking it sounds like there's water in there, but it's pretty new. But yeah, there's absolutely stuff you can collect. I will say,
yeah, I'm not entirely sure if
are pokey and unexpectedly sharp.
Oh, I bet.
But you're not in the denseness of the jungle, so I will spare you the worst of it for now.
Absolutely. I'm not going to go too far deep because I do not want to lose my way. My survival is only okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll say you can gather probably a few leaves, a few what seemed to be berries. There were some other berries you tried to pick, but as soon as you touched them, they like porcupined in your hand. That was not fun.
That is fascinating.
Like pufferfish with berries.
Pretty much.
Oh god. At least you found out by that happening in your hand and not like in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Ooh,
as
yeah.
somebody with some with like herbology and like botany knowledge and everything, that's confusing to you.
Yeah, I bet.
Normally these things want to be eaten so that their seeds can spread. Because as far as you can tell, the
This is
stabby
a
bits don't
backwards
retract.
place.
It's just
Yeah.
like that now.
It is just now very pokey. Forever.
Yep. Yeah. Was there anything else you want to do?
Not particularly. I brought food to last me the day because I figured I would be in a cave all day, and there's not exactly an abundance of it in there. So I'm not that concerned with like hunting myself, and I'm definitely not going to be able to keep up with Goreth.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
I mean, he's already fucking gone.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make a roll. Sure. I'll say you probably spent like, between your prep and then kind of checking things out, it's probably been like 2, maybe 3 hours. And with no real warning, some of the underbrush peels open and you at first see like this greenish brown, like scaled flesh thing. It looks like an overgrown lizard, but it's like a wall of flesh that you first see. And there's that first instant of, oh shit. And then
Yeah,
you
already
realize it's kind of limp. And eventually Goreth's head pokes through and you can see he's got this thing's neck in his jaws. And it's like an adult, your character wouldn't know what it is, but for your benefit, he's got like an adult T-Rex in his jaws, and its tail is just dragging along the ground. And he just trods along back to the cave.
She looks mighty impressed because that is a very big thing.
Mm-hmm. He's bigger.
Yeah, but like he's a god, so like of course he's bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. So
after a little bit, she'll follow him in, just curiously. She figures she's just gonna chat with him while he eats or what have you.
Okay. So you're doing that. We'll hop over, pick back up with Tilk. You've wrapped yourself in a blanket. What else are you doing?
Tilk is going to. He has to have a copy of this somewhere in his book, in his bag. He's going to look through it and try to find any reference to boar.
Through his personal notes?
No, through the scripture.
Okay, sorry.
So knowledge, religion, if at all possible.
Yeah, knowledge, religion. Since are you going through memory, or do you actually have like physical scripture that you're going through?
If you remember when we first left Aldfair, he took several copies.
Right. Okay. I'll give you a +2 bonus thing because you are looking through books.
I will take that.
Understandable.
Religion 5, 7, 25.
Yeah, sure. You go through and you find there is one passage that brings mention of a god known as Tabor. He is noted as being a war god, known for his rage, and how he kind of excelled in battle through brutality. His rage kind of just made him unstoppable. And it's a very brief section, like it's really only a couple paragraphs, because it's like a pre-Sundering story. And it's, you recall in prayer and stuff, it's been like a tale of warning about, like, do not be overcome by zealotry or emotion type, stories.
A lot of fucking good
but
that did.
according to the stories, he was overcome with his battle rage. Essentially, he went into a fight one day and it was as if the fight never ended. And because of his madness, Hetyer thought it the best thing for him was to seal him away in the hopes that he would calm down eventually. How true that is, all things considered, who can say?
I love that whenever I talk about Hetyer in my notes, I have to end most sentences with comma, allegedly.
Yeah. Almost like these were written by mortal hands who may actually be pre-biased, if not being purposely misled.
Yeah.
Hetier's just standing right behind them while they read it.
Yeah.
Great granddad,
like, imagine that, like, that old picture that's like, Jesus guiding the surgeon's hands or whatever, but it's Hetyer guiding some fucking poor priest's hand as he's like copying their holy text by hand, book after book.
Oh, great granddad, you were relegated to a maybe page and a half.
Yeah, interestingly enough, you recall piecing together the lineage there. No mention of family relation whatsoever.
Nope. No mention of family relation, no mention of his ancestors, although I know where that led to. Dear God, or great granddad, this is, and now this looks at his body. I need to talk to Lou. I need to talk to Liana. Probably talk to Liana.
Speaking of which,
he will water the flower and stare at it ominously, as if it's emanating ominous power before walking out. And
fair.
I mean, it is.
So a little bit before that, Liana, you're waking up.
Yeah.
What's up? What are you doing waking up?
It's just me. Is the sun just a little too bright coming through the window?
Yeah. It feels like, looking around, it almost feels like everything is like oversaturated with color. It's kind of, it's not that it's overwhelmingly bright. It's just everything's just too colorful. It's like if somebody took the warm filter and the saturation filter and just kind of turned them up a little bit. It's just
too much.
Yeah.
I'll pull myself out of bed and stretch a bit. All right, well, maybe I should just find something to eat. And I'll get myself decent, some change of clothes and all that, and just start heading out toward the door.
All right.
The sun's so light. Yeah, exactly.
Rhea.
Well, I'll kind of actually also walk toward the window and look down at where that lantern was. So,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's
do I remember what happened last night correctly?
yeah. The lantern is definitely broken. It looks like the glass has been cleaned up, but still broken.
Interesting.
So you're getting ready, about to head out the door. Rhea, a little bit before that, you're waking up. How are you doing this morning?
Well, after that very exciting dream slash vision slash what's up meeting, she wakes with a start and just kind of yelps before looking around wildly in a room and just realizing that she was still asleep. She kind of just groggily tries to take a few deep breaths and collect herself, going to splash some water in her own face and just kind of stare down into the sink, basically.
Yeah.
Before heading out to see if anyone
Fair.
else is there, because she
Little bit-
needs to talk to someone.
A little bit before that, Versatile,
Hello.
you wake up from your I think it's safe to say nightmare.
Oh, Jesus. Hey. Versatile wakes up. Versatile doesn't really just wake up. Versatile just opens his eyes and scans the entire room.
Yes, you realize you are covered in papers of notes. Your notebook is on the floor beside your bed, open halfway through it to whatever page you were last on. Seems you passed out in the middle of, doing what you do.
Versatile looks at his notes. Right. Okay. So this one goes here. That one goes here, and huh? Who's who and what's what? Who's who and what is what?
I will remind you for the next 5 days, your paranoia DC is 20 instead of 15 for anybody who wants to help you. Additionally, if you have any reason at all to suspect anybody of something, you have to make a sense motive check.
So no changes.
You have become intimately familiar with the concept that this red vampire could be anybody. No exception.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Earthdow. He looks at his note. He reaches over to I guess the he reaches over to where his belt's at. He pulls out his knife. And if there's anyone in the hallway, they hear a thud as Erstow threw his knife at the door.
Tilk out in the hallway. The fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
First style
around
things.
this time you all are beginning to filter out into the hall. And you can, the three of you that have come out of your rooms can see each other between the few other people that are filtering out of their own apartments and going about their work days. Some of them, the ones that are far enough down the hall to actually have to pass Tilk, see him, give him very odd look, like, what the fuck? Too early in the morning for this shit. And just kind of shuffle past.
Can we talk in private, everybody, please?
We should.
I suppose.
Oh god, it happened to all of us. Okay. Yeah, let's Ursula, you all right?
The door slowly opens. You see Erstyle's hand kind of just yank something from behind the door, and you see the blade just kind of stick out from behind the door. I'm good.
Are you sure?
I'm good.
Do you we need to have a group meeting, company meeting. Do you want to do that in your room? You good?
Whichever works. You'll just so everyone knows, Erstyle's not really actually even looking outside the door. He just kind of opened the door, great hamster, and then you just kind of see the blade sticking out, and then the blade disappears in view.
Yeah, then that's definitely normal.
Yeah.
Let's all meet in my room if that's cool with everyone.
Well, I don't know. That
Okay.
doesn't seem that different from normal. But yes, your room is fine.
I'll be there in a second. I gotta pick up some papers.
Okay. I mean, once everyone files into the room, Tilk will remove the blanket. So this isn't normal.
I don't know if
Right?
any of us are the best source on what's normal anymore.
That's
I
fair.
roll a sense motive.
Absolutely, bud. Go for it.
I mean,
Oh, man, this red vampire is getting bad at this.
we all have our weird skin conditions.
Yeah,
One
tell
of us
me
is
about
cold to the touch at all times. One of us has dragon scales. One of us has the skin of something from the infernal side of the system of, everything. And one of us is now reflective.
Out of character, who's cold to the touch all the time?
The winter witch.
No, I'm not. I'm chill. I mean, I'm normal. Like, I have no weird physiology yet.
Oh, I thought you did.
Style. While the
I just don't
the
care
sudden
about
change in skin condition is definitely suspicious.
Yeah.
You're able to, at least inward, sigh of relief. It's probably not the red vampire. If that just happened last night. The red vampire, from what you understand, can't inflict changes to the flesh like this. It only takes them based off of the state they are in. The time frame to have a kill after such a change would be so small. And such close quarters, it's very unlikely that Tilk is the red vampire.
So something that might be of note is that Rhea is kind of like bouncing her leg a little in like an anxious gesture. It generally kind of doing that little fidgeting thing when you're like anxious.
I know Rhea has a reason to do that, but now I feel like we're gaslighting Tilk.
Yes.
I
Honestly, I don't know if
roll
it's bad.
sense motive, against Rhea.
Once I sit down, I'm actually unusually still.
Okay. Roll your sense motive.
Gaslights. Away.
Isolate, gatekeep, and or a girl boss.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But this is just beginning of it. I have my own thing to share.
Oh, the 21 is Rhea. Actually, Rhea.
Yeah, you're pretty confident that's still Rhea. There's not been any tells yet. You don't have anything for sure, but your gut's telling you Rhea's still Rhea.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you'll remember that I talked about having a vision of being bound when I slept last in Aldfair, right?
Of course.
Somewhat, yeah.
Well, thanks to the flower Palmer brought me, at least I'm going to assume, thanks to this flower, got to talk to him again, and 3 other individuals.
All kinds of interesting flora lately.
Yeah. So found out that this being is my ancestor. Also found out that they are Tabor, the 7th son of Hetir. And I am the 7th son of my father, who is also a 7th son, and you just follow that up.
And so it keeps on happening.
Fascinating.
What's more fascinating is the people that came to see him and released him from his imprisonment. My psyche, I don't know. That part makes my head hurt. A feminine form clad in porcelain plate. A male with long black hair and a starlight robe. And a woman with a bony finger and a sunken face clad in a dark robe. Or as we know them to be, Zanara, Zikros, and most likely Cyrus.
Zikros and Cyrus have matching rings by chance?
I didn't have time to pay attention to that, as they grabbed Tabor and took him to a battlefield. That's, from my understanding, currently going on.
I can actually second that. There's been another quickening created by the vast movement of energy up in Celion.
Well, that would probably explain the angels fighting other angels on that battlefield. Before I was released from my vision and sent back, Cyrus said she'd be interested to speak with all of us again. She was, other than Tabor, the only one who acknowledged my physical presence there. So, I don't know about the rest of you. I plan to talk to Lou today.
That would make sense.
But based on the fact that you are cold as ice right now, and just perfectly calm, you are visibly shaking. Ursula, you're not taking notes, so I assume something's wrong with you.
Well, actually, you notice he's not taking notes, but you notice he's giving you and Rhea the stink eye.
What's the matter, bud? feel like we need to. Why the sneer?
Well,
Just we're trying to make sure things are looking right.
is there
Looks
nothing wrong?
looks at myself. No, it's not.
Clearly. So trying to make sure I got all the details. But leans it a little bit more towards Tilk. Making sure I get all the details.
Well, Rhea just kind of just rubs her temple a little and just goes like, I had a vision. My brother is alive. Well,
The fuck?
existing still. And he is currently coming here to, and she does quotation marks, rescue me from those that are manipulating me. And he has an undead army, and he is trying to rise even higher.
You have an army?
Well, guess who he is currently part of?
Joy.
Oh.
He did appear in Adax shortly before an army, including many other vampiric spawn, attacked, along with the rest of the undead forces.
Yes.
I would suspect he holds a position in that. I don't know how organized of a military it is, but he, based on what you're saying, I assume he exists somewhere in that chain of command.
Mm-hmm. And he's making openings for himself to rise higher. His ambition is even higher now.
Well,
Does he know where we are?
From how we spoke, I am pretty sure he can figure it out or knows already.
I see. So he communicated with you rather than you effectively scrying on him.
When I was asleep, I talked to him in dream. I somehow
no, he communicated to you before you went to sleep.
Oh right, yeah, you're right, yeah.
Yeah. It was in your mind.
And he contacted me in my mind.
Hmm.
So some form of long distance communication he is capable of, and
See, so long distance, very long distance communication, something akin to ascending, not quite contacting another plane, but powerful magic nonetheless. More than any of us could muster right now with our skills, I would wager.
And he is, even more unhinged than he was before.
And he also plans to bring at least a portion of the Traitor Mortal's army here. I think we knew they would show up eventually, but he may expedite that process.
Yeah.
Inadvertently.
Rhea's hand is clenched. It zooms in on her her hand is clenched and she looks kind of just really, really tense. Before just sighing, say, and it wasn't only that experience, but the other things are a little more confusing. And yes, some dreams and visions of, I don't know, draconic things, I guess. Still trying to wrap my head around that part.
So can I ask this question real quick? Did anyone have a normal night's sleep?
I did. I spoke with my grandfather beforehand, but once I went to sleep, everything went as usual.
And how about you,
Well-
Rostal?
You did visit him in the shadow.
Oh, did I? I
Yeah.
thought I had. Oh, that's right. Oh, no, the last time I had called him was a while ago. Speaking to him was in the Shadowlands this time because of the quickening.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, let me read that. My night was not altogether unusual, at least in the sense that it has happened before. The last time there was a quickening, in this case, before the attack on Adax. Though, this time, circumstances are somewhat less urgent.
Interesting. I just had to review some notes and might have gotten lost in them last night.
I'm gonna sense motive. Tilk is like, what's up his bum? Why is he being all think-eyed, everybody? About 4. That's not gonna go well.
If your eyes are stinky, you should visit an eye doctor.
You should visit a doctor, any doctor at that point.
Yeah.
Any medical expertise is an improvement.
You're not
14.
wrong.
There's definitely something going on. It's you knowing Ursa for as long as you have, there is something has certainly rustled his feathers, so to speak.
Is Jimmy's even?
Yes. You don't necessarily get the feeling he's lying to you. But he's not necessarily telling you everything either.
Tilk's just trying to ascertain what's rustling in his jammies. Why is he?
Yeah. Sense motive isn't going to tell you what's doing it, but because it's not imminently obvious. But something is bothering. You can tell that much.
Just was reviewing notes and got a little lost on them.
Well, it's all just a little strange, is all.
Yeah. There's a few details I'm still trying to work on, so not
Yeah.
fully little distracted. Is the best way I could put it.
Liana, did your great whatever grandparent tell you that every time there's a quickening, this is going to happen, where we all have messed up dreams?
Not necessarily. I know, at least in my case, due to the thinning of the walls between the planes, the connection between he and I was strengthened, so we were able to communicate more easily. I suspect that any of us who are predisposed to something like this will find it more likely at times, like quickenings. That's only a theory.
Well, here's to hoping that since Rhea wasn't on this plane, not Rhea, that Sveta, since she wasn't on this plane, had a good night's sleep.
Well, from what I understand, this quickening is due to events in Celion. So which plane she's on might not matter. Unless she were on Necrath or another one that's very separated from the others.
But yeah, does anyone have a spare cloak?
I have the one from my winter gear, I believe. The hood doesn't fit me very well anymore.
If I can just keep my arms covered, I mean, not much I can do about the face. Want it to be a gradual thing, not a the sun is reflecting off of me while I'm walking outside and, causing problems there.
Especially if anyone here finds out who you're related to.
Well, that's a thing we're just gonna not talk about too often. Gonna likely try to talk to Gorath when we go to get Sveta later tonight. And then I want to talk to Lou about Lady Cyrus. Have some questions.
I see.
While I have the time, I should look into a restoration service with the Alchemist Guild like I was planning on. But if possible, I would like to hear what Lou has to say.
That is fair.
Well, it certainly seems like things are escalating a bit.
Absolutely.
Just not allowed to have normal things happen, apparently.
What's normal?
I don't know anymore.
I think our normal is to be in exciting events.
Well, let's go get breakfast and, talk to Lou, figure out if we want to go get a phoenix feather from a phoenix or if we want to go collect a bunch of rocks.
Yeah.
So, breakfast. You know the drill. Full meal, 5 silver. You want just street vendor food, 2 silver.
I will do street vendor food.
I will
Street
too.
vendor street vendor this time. Rhea is not most hungry this morning.
Street vendor food for me too. Nothing fancy, just enough to keep me going.
Cool.
Street vending.
Very cool. Y'all get some sea salt chips and along with a little helping of let's see. It's probably just been like some. Well, they don't really have eggs, so don't really have proper breakfast wraps, but probably a lighter wrap that probably has like some wet fish in it, along with a little light drizzling of hot sauce.
And that sounds pretty good in real life.
And where's your first destination? You're able to eat and walk.
Unless people have other plans, I'd like to go to Lou first.
I'm fine with that.
Sure.
Fair. So yeah, you all are making your ways down the cobblestone streets, and there are people out and about. Occasionally, kids playing in the streets, and you make your way over to where Lou allegedly can be found. It is in if I recall my notes correctly, I think I placed him down on the Gilded Strip. I believe is where his hall is.
At least I think there's like the main three, the new main three religious buildings.
Didn't actually know where it was, but I feel like in my mind I had it in the Strip. So that's where it's going to be. But so you make your way over to the temple that is known as the Quiet Pillars. It is pretty much a wide set of stairs that lead up to it's almost like kind of Greco-Roman in a way, where it has these columns, but they're not fanciful in any way. They are just plain columns that go floor to ceiling on this sort of open space, and then there's like another 10 feet before there are a couple different doorways with no actual doors, just fine alchemicrete, smooth alchemicrete floors that are actually pretty clean despite the open air nature of it. And going inside, you can see the familiar black cloaked, black calls of the followers of the bone, or more colloquially known as the mortuary. And they are moving about. The interior there's no proper seating. It is a big open space. The walls are not decorated. It is just bare white alchemicrete. But there are divots in the walls where there are candles, as well as statuettes. And there are some people that have gathered. Some look to be praying. Some of the followers of the bone are kneeling next to some of these people, whispering quiet things. You can hear some hushed crying here and there. It is this is quite frankly a first for all of you, even for the religious members of the group. Entering a temple dedicated to, well, the followers' worship. Well, frankly, historically unknown. The idea of them having temples was more of a, well, they have a place they disappear to at the end of the day when their work is done. They have a place they go when they are taking care of bodies. They've never properly had temples, so this is strange, and this is not like other temples. There is even if it wasn't for the crying, there is a stillness and a sort of lingering melancholy about the place.
Roll a perception check.
Absolutely. What are you looking for?
Red vampires.
I mean, it's valid.
The decor in here is wonderful.
Oh,
Are you?
What is
Yeah.
Why am I the way I am?
There are many reasons.
Observations.
What are you looking for in all actuality? What are you expecting to find?
I am looking for hints of things that are out of place.
Just whenever you want to make that roll.
This
I will
works.
say, Lou is not immediately visible coming in, but he could be one of these cloaked figures who happen to not be looking at you. The 28 on the perception.
28.
You look over the people gathered. The people that are here seem to be actively engaged in prayer. The worshippers are, well, the followers of the bone themselves are all in uniform. Nothing is immediately standing out to you, but your instinct tells you this could potentially be a place a creature like the red vampire would attend regularly, just to siphon off of the potent suffering that happens here. You can immediately pick up, even though you've never been in a place like this, that people come here to mourn and face down that feeling of loss, to maybe get some kind of closure. And that makes it, while not necessarily literally a hunting ground, maybe something more akin to a watering hole for a creature like the red vampire. Nobody here immediately ticks you as on alert for the creature, but there's always that chance that maybe one of these people praying, or maybe one of these followers aren't who they say they are.
First style takes out his notepad.
Very well.
Makes a note.
So Erstyle's taking notes.
Tilk will look for an unoccupied worshiper, potentially someone that he recognizes from the before time.
Easily done. There is
Hey.
at the back wall, there is what appears to be a fountain, and there are some cups, and there is somebody who is with a hand cloth cleaning cups.
Hello. I would like to speak to Lou.
Oh, I see. He might be busy, but I can check for you. And she will quietly rise and walks away. You can tell there is, in their movements, there is a concentrated care in how they walk. It's become pretty apparent to you just from crossing the place that due to how very little furnishing and such there is, sound carries easily. And so they take great care to step as softly as possible.
Tilk will do his damnedest to stay quiet.
A few minutes will pass when finally the woman returns with Lou at her side. He has his usual hood up, cowl covering the lower half of his face, so you can only see his eyes. It has been a long time, he says in a very hushed voice.
It has indeed. Is there a place that we could speak that's a bit more private where the sound won't carry?
Yes, you can join me down below, and he will lead you back the way he came. There is a discreet set of stairs that goes down beneath the main chamber. You see there's a hall that leads to several other rooms. One, and there are no doors here. I mean, you can see one chamber seems to lead into a sort of dormitory, you would guess. You can see a lot of beds and chests and such. And he leads you into one room that is there is a desk in a corner, as well as a bed and a wash basin and such. This seems to be Lou's personal quarters.
Oh, okay.
We are free to speak here.
The first thing I'd like to say is it's nice to see that you are well.
Yes.
And I have a couple of questions.
I will do my best to answer them.
What do you know of the goddess Cyrus?
He will incline his head a little bit. Are you asking as a follower of Neheto, or are you asking as someone who is in a potentially peculiar situation?
I do not and will not ask anything as a follower of Neheto. Of the two, the only one that I will even relate myself to out publicly would be Nalzandrus. If I could spit on Hetyer right now, I would. I am a concerned individual and an individual who has had a vision. And believe I saw her there.
He will carefully lower his hood, lower his call. You can see he is he's not suddenly aged, but you can see the beginnings of like crow's feet type wrinkles at the corners of his eyes. There are some strands of gray in his short but curly black hair. He regards you for a moment with his dark eyes, says, "Then we can speak openly."
Sounds good.
As I'm sure you can imagine, I know much of Cyrus, and so, like many followers of Bone, we play. No, not play. We keep such things close to the chest for many reasons.
I understand. Although I hope that you do not have to do that as much given the current administration.
Being accepted and being open in our position is two very different things.
I see. Well, I do wish I could have done better to aid that, but that is neither here nor there. I also wish to inquire if you have any esoteric knowledge on the god Tabor.
Tabor. Not much regarding him. I am aware there was a passage or two in reference to him in the text regarding Netta worship. As far as my particular knowledge, I have personal reasons to question many things.
Fair. I was granted a vision last night, by whom I am inclined to believe Cyrus herself, maybe another individual I do not fully know, but I saw 4 individuals, one of which I believe to be Tabor, wading through a battlefield. One such individual was Cyrus, but she was the only one that acknowledged my presence and being there. Everyone else seemed to either notice me or pretend to not notice me.
I think it goes without saying, Tilk, that we are in Terminus. There is no doubt about that. Many here are, well, I should say some are in denial. Some believe it to be true. Some are not sure what to think. But most still see it as some separate thing. It is not here, it is far and away. But what I know is death is universal. And I have come to understand that some of us have roles to play. And I understand that there are things in motion that I do not know. Things that led to the tragedy 4 years ago. Things that led to the news of your group's death being misunderstood and have brought you back here.
So word gets around quickly, it would seem.
While I did not have a position, the frequency in which we spoke has lent me some friends in places where information flows. One of those may or may not be Roderick.
Well, I know that Marlowe is not our biggest fan since we came back. Not anything openly hostile, but a firm address to toe the line. But I'm not here to talk politics. My question is more without the confines of Nahedo or the binds that they put on you and your faith, or the threat of inquisition, as those terrible things are now dismantled. is there any information that you would have as a follower of Cyrus that the rest of, we'll say, common folk, for those who have studied Nehedo and its teachings, that you would have that they would not? Any insight, any information that either you think they would not believe or struggle to be able to communicate? Anything?
Well, and he ponders for a long moment. If this vision is true, then you should know the child is among us.
Oh.
The part they leave out in the books is that when the child comes of age, those will be the final days.
Was that the ceremony I witnessed in the capital?
They brought her for safekeeping. They managed to obfuscate her nature to the church. And we saw to her travel arrangements. We do not exactly know where she is, but she is still on this plane.
Oh, that answers my next question, is if she's safe. The answer is maybe.
I unfortunately do not have the abilities to locate her, but I have reason to believe she is somewhere on this continent. The unfortunate reality is we have not explored far enough, and this continent is massive.
Indeed. I got to be in a forest that had 7-mile-high trees. That was not fun.
Interesting.
Do you have an inkling of a direction? A tingle, maybe? That points in a direction?
I could not say. I have it on faith that she still remains.
Faith is all we have sometimes.
It is of my opinion, and I'm willing to accept I could be wrong in this, but it is of my opinion that had she been undone, you and yours would not have been sent into that cave. I cannot pretend to know the mind of a god. I do not have that, not even a hair of that kind of ego in me. But I know desperation when I see it.
No, you are desperate, asinine, and selfish. Those are het years traits, so it's not hard to pretend just be the biggest asshole in the room. Is there anything that we can do? I imagine keeping her protected is paramount. Is that why the other ships broke off? Farther south?
I cannot say for sure. That is unknown to me. I know one ship was lost. For the other ships, I don't know. Truth be told, I do not know the exact qualities of the events that will lead up to the final days. All I know is she is a harbinger of sorts. The bridge between death and time.
She's probably the keystone to that bridge. That's a lot. Thank you very much for that information. And like you said, death comes to all things. And that is one thing that Hetyer is trying to fight against, is his own end. So.
Well, there was a old proverb, the adherents of Zikros would repeat from time to time. And it is that even the greatest of kingdoms are victims to time. I would like to think even a kingdom as one that transcends planes is not an exception.
I'd like to think the same. But I think the bastard is intent on trying to prove that wrong. And I'm a little sore about being sent into my death because he is an ass, to put it bluntly. A selfish, terrible ass. Someone like that should not have the power of a king, let alone a god. But that's getting away from the point. Do you believe it to be wise for us to locate her and make sure she is safe? Not to interfere, not to do anything of that nature, but I believe that are more eyes on my little group here than would be healthy.
At one point or another, Hetyer will almost certainly turn his gaze, turn his agents in that direction. If your intent, if I'm reading correctly, is to
kill Hetyer.
Yes. I would advise doing so. Finding her, making sure she is safe, doing what you can to protect her. If the prophecies are anything to go by, she is certainly capable, but she is still very young, still very much coming into her power, which means she is still at risk. But she does not necessarily would need to be babysat. I don't know. I've never met a godling before.
Oh, no, my question was, how many agents does Hetyer even have left after sending so many to their doom?
I am not sure. I
Understood.
think there is reality many do not want to think about or consider, in that, well, let me rephrase. As followers of the bone, we are very studied in the nature of death, in the passage of souls across the barriers of worlds and realms and planes. I have grown distinctly aware of a thinning. I do not know how much longer it will be, but I foresee a time when the skies will become littered with his host.
Yep. Or will likely spill out into other planes.
Hence
So
the war in heaven.
Yep. All right. Well, that's a lot more information than I thought I'd have. Do you have... This is a strange question. And I kind of feel like I know the answer due to the fact that a little under 4 years ago, you probably would have been branded a heretic of some sort. Do you don't possibly have any printed teachings or proverbs or anything like that available?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
What little written things we had, unfortunately, were lost. Even before the fall of 8X.
Oh, well.
For reasons I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah, I can put that together. Okay.
We have made a point of being very thorough in our teachings. That is why we do not acquire members very quickly. It is a very long academic process.
Right. I apologize for any awkward position that you were put in after our... I don't want to say death because that doesn't sound right. But I mean,
Understand something, Tilk. Our position has always been one of awkwardness, even distaste, suffered only by necessity. Had there not been histories of the dead rising and such, we would have been cold a long time ago. But the decision to let us coexist, albeit quietly, was, I would like to think, in some positive mind, a victory for mortal kind.
I'd like to think that I did not think negatively of the followers of the bone, but looking back on it, I have the benefit of hindsight, so who knows? I was a different person a month ago, 4 years ago.
It's best not to harp on it.
Nope. Time marches on.
It certainly does.
Unrelenting.
Yeah.
Even.
If you are able to find the girl, you can bring her here. We will care for her. Unless you have or develop a better plan.
We'll see where that goes. My only concern is whether or not us bringing someone in from the outside is going to have Marlowe do something foolish to potentially break the protection on her. I'm not sure. Unless Marlowe is keyed into this as well. But that is not my decision to make.
I believe he is very in the moment.
Yeah.
He can certainly plan long term, but well, I can't say with any certainty. He is certainly a stone fist, albeit a stone fist with a clever mind. I do not think you are I don't think you are in any danger of him, so long as you do not threaten his position.
The thing we came in might already do that, sadly.
They shot one out of the sky. They probably think they can shoot another one down, and they probably can.
I am not a master of tactics or any of these military type things. I am just saying from my observations of the man, he does not lash out unprovoked.
That's good to know.
Do with that what you will.
I will sleep better at night, hopefully. Just kind of stares off at that.
That remains to be seen for all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Thank you for this information. It is, I think, invaluable. Is still underselling it. I believe. Does anyone else have any questions for Lou? We don't want to keep him tied up here all day.
Can you tell us the child's name or give any physical description of her?
I do not have her name. There was much about her kept in secrecy. I know she was brought from Varengrad post haste. I do not know if that's where she was born. She, at the time of fleeing Adax, would have been maybe 9, maybe 8. Could have been 10. I'm not sure. Somewhere in that range. As I recall, strangely blue hair.
Yeah.
White eyes, almost shining. In a very, I'm not even sure, a sort of knowing look about her. Like she's going to know what you were going to say before you said it.
I watched the ritual occur, so I did have her description memorized, but you seem to have more details because I didn't get the chance to talk to her. Or talk to anyone that had talked to her.
I see. I do wonder sometimes if the adherents of Zikros had chosen a different path, what things would look like now. But alas.
I assume others with her know who and what she is?
There should be a few with her. Who knows what their fates are? It's been so long. But yes, there were a handful of followers that went with her. I believe there was one adherent of Zikros who abstained from the aforementioned ritual. A different kind of self-sacrifice. If you are familiar with the adherents in their ideology.
I'm not sure if I am, but I am trained in religion.
You can make a roll.
I'll roll with you.
Let's see. You'll have to roll on your own because I cannot be assisted. I don't know if that was your intent or not, but
Nope, I will just roll on my own. I'm kind of stupid. So 11.
Your 11
Ooh.
tells you adherents to
Jesus.
Zikros are a weird lot. Especially after seeing that ritual, you're really not sure what to make of their ideology other than, yeah, time, it's inevitable. Storms are a part of time and the world keeps turning. Well, not really. It's a flat plane, but time marches
it's
onward.
turning like a turntable.
And it's, they're just an odd bunch. Your 34, Liana, tells you that, in their ideology, when Terminus comes, they believe it is their duty to go to Zikros' side to help face down the war in heaven and prepare for the ending of the cycle. For a follower to choose to not make that sacrifice, or and how they see it, to choose to not go to their God's side, but still be in service of their God, is in a way its own kind of martyrdom.
I'm not sure if I'm forgetting witnessing the ritual or if it was a session I wasn't there
You
for.
weren't there.
Okay, I thought so.
You weren't there for the ritual. It was Tilk was the one at the temple at the time, and he went to go see it.
Yeah. Does their I might be assuming here, but does their ideology involve like methods for going to their god's side? Is it like a suicide ritual or
It
something?
was a
Oh, yeah,
fanciful
Tilk
suicide
told you.
ritual.
Yeah,
Okay.
they all killed themselves.
Oh, okay, and then someone didn't just stay behind and keep doing
Correct.
Zikros' work.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. Damn, was I there when you told us? Why don't I remember this? I feel like that'd be significant.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time. Like this was
That was Adax.
Yeah, this is pre the great loss of 2023.
Oh man, in the before times.
Yeah,
but not the
before
times. But
it's really funny because I was just thinking about it before session started. I was like, whatever happened to that one girl that all these people killed themselves around? She had like bright blue hair or something.
If she was forgotten about because nobody has mentioned her in all this time. So I'm like, I bet they probably forgot.
No,
I didn't even know about her.
Hey, we just had other things to focus on.
You mentioned the child, and I had like Vietnam flashbacks. It's like, oh my god, that's the kid. I saw people kill themselves around her.
Well, she wasn't in the room when that happened. She went off to a separate chamber. They went different places.
It was a multi-chamber ritual. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
You okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Well, Tilk is handling this well.
Yeah.
He's looking at the conspiracy board of it. That is his notes.
No, I'm not. Shut up.
I'm gonna roll in.
So where is Pepe, Sylvia?
Got tossed Pepe Sylvia, but there's no Pepe Sylvia.
Anyhow, back in the moment.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lou, again. Believe we have much to discuss and many things to do. Very many things to do.
Of course. Doors are always open. He gestures to his doorway, which has no door.
I get it. It's funny. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but that's funny.
A little bit of humor. But we do keep a very strict open door policy to those that need guidance.
We'll chuckle. I do have one last question. How do you commune with Cyrus? If you commune at all. I don't know if the practice you started recently because
no
more Inquisition.
The usual prayer. There is, for the more daring, another method.
Fortune favors the bold. What is this other method?
There is a natural poison we cultivate. When imbibed, it allows one to tease the threshold of death. With the proper willpower, one can navigate to the boundaries of the White City. And assuming they have the fortitude, come back.
Oh boy. And what is this made of?
While I am all for answering your questions, there are some things our order likes to keep secret.
Fair enough. I won't press on it. She just, when she pushed me back from wherever we were, she said she'd just be interested in meeting our group again, so I didn't know if I had to walk through fire or whatnot.
Well, unless you can find an all too convenient conjunction, I'm not sure of any other ways myself. But
Understood.
That is a pathway rarely walked. But considering your group's unique situation, perhaps.
Right. All right. That is a thing I'd be willing to do. I don't know about the rest of you. Although, given my circumstances, it may prove difficult for me to actually ride that line.
You may actually almost die instead of going berserk.
Correct.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm not sure if I have the constitution for something like that on the best of days, but at the very least, I would like to get mine treated before attempting something like that.
True. You happen to know of a way to help with that. This one stepped into a gray slime and has been rather sickly since.
I see. Come closer, let me get a look at you.
While
I'll
they're
take a few
doing
steps.
that, Rhea kind of just leans into Tilk and just asks, "Should I talk about? Should I warn about the thing?"
Oh, maybe? I'm trying to compartmentalize one problem at a time here.
Yeah, well, there's many problems.
I understand that. Believe me, I do.
What am I going to do with all these lives? He looks Liana over. I see. He will begin a brief chant. And then there is a pale white light that emanates from his hand and washes over you, Liana. And you are cleansed of your constitution reduction.
Excellent. A few breaths. Just roll my shoulders a bit. Well, that was
Feeling
faster than
better?
expected. Much. Thank you.
That's a relief.
Next time I will have to ask for compensation.
Understood. The first hit is free, as they say, I suppose.
Well, we only have so many materials. He pats
That's fair.
a little pouch at his hip, which is now, well, it depresses a little bit underneath his hand.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be happen to do with that with diamond dust. It has to be all together, right?
Yes.
Damn.
I thought it was diamond dust, is it not? Just go
I
to
think
a
it's
full diamond.
XGP worth of diamond.
Oh, I don't remember.
I wonder if you can
I'm not gonna
fabricate
sweat.
diamond from diamond dust.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's technically diamond dust. What stopped us before was our inability to cast it.
I cast
I think
mending.
so.
But you know,
Oh my god.
Just need to get finished working on Delvers even faster. Okay, thanks, bye. Stop worrying about these things.
I'm excited to play it.
So Rhea just says, well, there's another thing that probably should be talked about. Had a little chat with, well, my what I thought was my dead vampire brother, who is promising that he is going to bring the undead army that's attacked Adax here.
I see. That is certainly concerning.
So, might be good to shore up and do some preparations at least. Well,
Yes,
I don't.
We'll see what strings I can pull. At the very least, there are wards my fellow followers and myself can prepare ahead of time, especially with this forewarning.
Yes, that would be good.
Lou, I promise one of these days we'll bring good news.
Yes, well, I think that likely won't be until, well, we are looking down the final days.
Hey, it's still in that range of one of these days, right?
One of
Well,
these
if
final
my
days.
estimations are correct, you have 4 to 5 years. So,
damn.
Oh, good to know.
Not bad.
I'm going to just make a note of that.
Terms and conditions may apply.
yeah, when they said Terminus was going to happen, they didn't say how long it was going to take. The text conveniently left that out.
Yep. Just having my notes. Estimations for the end of the world: 4 to 5 business years.
Business years.
Holidays are not paid.
Damn it.
Ah,
Okay, how's Feta doing?
She's vibing.
It's actually around this time Savetta's probably wrapping up her like little breakfast chat with
She learns what T-Rex tastes
Gorath.
like.
Chipkin. But big.
Chipkin but big.
there's just a lot of it.
The flavor is big.
Yep.
Huh?
I love the fact that T-Rex is white meat.
No, it's definitely definitely an acquired taste. Kind of akin to like turkey dark meat. That's what I'm gonna say. But it's got a very strong flavor. It wouldn't traditionally be classified as good because it is a predator. Traditionally predator meat does not taste very good. But you imagine with some time you could probably get used to it. It's not your favoriteest thing in the world, but it's food.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know,
mean,
maybe
you
a
know,
little
it's more
seasoning
about
would go a ways too.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, unseasoned chicken kind of sucks a lot. But seasoned chicken is really good. So I imagine that play a part.
Yardbird is very dependent on what goes with it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm assuming you are going to wrap up with Gorath and make your way out.
Yeah. I mean, I have until evening.
Oh no, he opened the exit for you.
Wait, he can just open the fucking conjunction?
He's a god.
He is a
Never
god,
said he
yeah.
couldn't.
He's also trapped there.
No, he's
So he can
not.
go
Just
through it.
because he can open a conjunction doesn't mean he can leave.
True.
Magic.
As was said, hey, you're trapped him there.
Yeah.
There are stronger forces at work preventing him from leaving.
Fair.
One
But
of
yeah,
those,
I suppose after breakfast and like a little bit more like just general chatting, she will leave head or not. Wow, almost did a big offensive.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you leave.
I leave Gorath.
Those of you at Lou's, anything else? Or are you going to leave there?
Any more bombs we want to throw at Lou?
For the purpose of my notes, how do you spell Lou's name? There are so many possibilities.
Lew, and his last name is Murr, Muhrur, if I remember correctly.
Thanks.
That
was like the least likely spelling of it, so I'm really glad I asked.
I put L. I have him in my notes. Lou.
Murr was nice. Muhrer, you said?
Muhrur, I believe. I have
Muhrur.
so many note channels. I'm trying to find important NPCs there. It is fucking hell. Where are you in here, Lou? There's so many NPCs.
I think I changed Lou's fucking name in my notes.
Yeah, Muhrur.
I got his last name right. That was fucking first.
Murr.
Murr. Like a murmur. Murmur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how he has to prayer or had to prayer. No, Tilk's not going to do that. Brandon wants to do it. Thank you, Lou, for your time. we will take our leave and try not to disturb anyone on our way out.
Of course. As you all begin to leave, he pulls his cowl back up and rises his head again. You all, as quietly as possible, make your way out of the quiet pillars.
Once we're a good distance away,
Yeah.
Tilk is just going to start breathing very heavily.
Man, Token needs to like work out if that kind of exercise is taxing him.
I don't know why, but I can feel Sveta making a joke at my expense.
The quickening lets it happen across planes.
Oh, joy. So, that was enlightening, terrifying.
You could say that. It's good to have a time frame, though.
It must be Tuesday.
No. No, it's not.
It's
Actually,
becoming a bit of a pattern.
it's the 10th of Later Dow. It's works.
True.
Fated to live in interesting times. Suppose.
I mean, yeah. What? I saw the beginnings of this without knowing. And
When you witnessed the ceremony?
when I witnessed the ceremony, yeah.
Sorry, what were we going to say?
No, it's fine. Collecting thoughts. So, in theory, once the child walks amongst us, so let's say the average child starts walking at the age of 2, because, I think the nature or the bucket divine have a sense of humor. It was about 7 years before everything went to shit. So that's when everything started. Where were we 7 years ago?
Violet Maple.
We didn't
Take your age now, -7.
yeah, we didn't piss anyone off.
Don't
Well,
count
remember,
the
we
4
died
years you were
4 years.
gone. You didn't age those 4 years.
Yeah. Well, remember, we didn't become fated as we are now until we fought the... Oh, what was it called?
Janik.
Yeah, until we fought the Shanique at the fortress.
I mean, arguably, right? I'm not here.
So metaphysically, at least, our fates weren't tied to the events of Terminus, as far as we know. Until then.
What you're saying is that had a Fae not stolen Sveta's soul for a brief amount of time, we wouldn't be in this situation. We'd likely just be dead.
Probably.
Possibly. If you remember what the Red Raven said, how did he put it? The Shanique was placed there by him or by fate, possibly both. And our encounter with it, it seems to be something related to its own mythic status, which we then gained from overcoming it.
Yeah, not gonna lie to you. During that entire conversation, we started going about the meta reality or whatever that was.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of things being processed that was not high on the chart.
Oh.
I believe you. I remember the conversation. I don't remember processing it. We had only just recently came back to life, and then I, minutes prior, found out that one of the gods I had worshipped is sent me to my death. So, a lot of things were going on. You'll forgive me if I need a reminder on some of them. I do
suppose that's-
apologize for making you have to repeat that.
I suppose that's understandable. It was a lot at the time.
Yeah. But now we have a greater goal. We have a place to operate out of. And then we have two
So then-
goals that will keep us fed and stocked.
And some minor goals and just exploring and generally figuring things out in general. Which is more just as we go along and get played with by a cat that's called Fate.
I'm pretty sure Fate is a human. Only the human can think of things so diabolical.
Yeah, Zemian.
Don't blame me. Blame insert name here. Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Insert our sponsor.
Oh my god.
Absolutely not.
Squarespace.
No,
Jeez.
we are not sponsored by Squarespace. Not
Circle
saying that it
room.
won't take a spot.
No,
The
there's-
circle room.
You're right. It's Gamer Subs. Everyone's sponsored by Gamer Subs right now.
Hey, I'm just saying, hey, gamer subs. You know,
Are those
We'll share a waifu cup, man. Like,
whenever we pull out a potion bottle, it's just a gamer subs.
It's probably more
Bro.
fun to be sponsored by Gamer Subs than many others because of like getting to make a flavor and stuff.
hey, off tangent, but my character fed Damiani's character a wintergreen alchemy soda Wednesday night.
that is true.
He got blasted by a forces mage on his deathbed, wakes up to fizzy wintergreen in his mouth.
Oh man, that sounds pretty good
Dude.
actually.
I was hoping that I'd just fucking rewind time, but he one-shot me.
He did.
I'd be
Fucking rinsed
I'd
him.
be
I prepped in
willing.
everything and then just fucking. I need to hang up a
It's fine, just get your ass to time
with
for it.
my
and
life. I need to
create.
hang up if my pattern fucking like dies that activates.
I'd be willing to settle for just a shaker that is the shape of a potion bottle. Anyway, back on track.
great,
I
actually.
apologize.
Y'all are walking through the streets, chatting. And I'm going to say, Sveta, you've been wandering through the streets, kind of looking for your friends, also kind of lost in thought, and you all
Also feeding the
happen
thyro
to
teams.
cross paths. In this part of the town, there aren't very many around. There's a couple here and there.
I try to make friends with them now that I like. Once I heard that they alert to the red vampire, I'm on friend mode.
Yeah, there's only a couple around here. This is kind of like the guild area of town. A couple that are around here are a little bit more skittish, but yeah, there's a few wandering around.
Yeah, just when I can make friends. Leave them a little bit of food. Leave them a little bit of drink, what have you.
Arsta, how you holding up after everything? Oh, hi, Sveta.
Oh, hey guys.
What?
Hey.
Morning.
How-
That was easier than I thought it would be.
How'd you get out?
I know we're pretty hard to spot.
I mean, I walked out.
You know damn well what I'm talking about.
I mean, Gorath can open the door. He's a god.
You can? I thought it was like trapped or something.
I mean, doesn't mean he can go through it. He's very big.
Ah,
Also,
yes.
Headgear is a dickhead.
Yes, we back with the conversation that Zemian and Damiani had.
well, I haven't had it in character.
No, I know. I just love the fact that, art imitated life.
Mm-hmm.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Sveta, it's just satisfy my curiosity and for hope of, hope. Did you happen to have any strange dreams last night?
Oh, so you guys had it too.
Great.
I suppose
Well-
yours weren't murder, were they?
We have some things to catch you up on. Let's find somewhere private to talk.
Same.
Where do you want to go to be in private?
Back to our rooms, preferably at this point, with what we're
Sure.
fucking working with.
Sure.
Aristotle, where should we go to talk in private?
That's also a good point. Aristotle would probably know.
Edge.
Sorry.
There it is.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was dealing with some allergies.
All good.
Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, since Air still seems like the one to ask, I said, Air still, where should we go to talk in private?
Well,
Feta gives Erstyle a little wave.
well, hello there. Sense motive.
Bitch, I
Okay.
haven't even been on this
Go for
plane.
it.
There's literally no way I'm the red vampire.
You're
Roll.
out of his sight for exactly 5.5 seconds. It
Oh
is
my
enough
fucking
time
God.
for you to be possessed.
How do we know you actually left the plane and were just gotten by the red vampire as soon as you walked it around the corner?
Didn't
You're a
you
little too
watch me
frosty.
leave?
But you watch
I
you come
don't
back.
remember.
Yeah, you hone in on Sveta. You can see like the squinting of the eyes, the examination, the looking up and down. You start playing through the scenarios. Sveta being jumped by the creature in the night on her way to go hang out with Gorath. Maybe she got jumped leaving this morning. Maybe the Sveta that's been with you the past couple days actually wasn't Sveta at all. And no, that's Sveta. only Sveta could be that innocent about it all.
You all right there, buddy?
Just checking the details.
He's been like this all morning.
Checking the details of
He's been
my
like this all
face?
morning. It's concerning, but we have more things that are more concerning to discuss.
Aristotle takes a look at his notes and we need a little bit more discretion. We can probably go over here.
Yeah, you're actually able to find a pretty secluded sort of alleyway in between some of these guild halls where there's little to no foot traffic.
For the sake of expedience, we'll repeat our part. Sveta can talk how she wants to about what she went through. But for Tilk's part, we're just going to exposition, because we've done it twice now. Comedies in threes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get to know about the demon, get to know about everything bad that is happening, and just everyone dumping their trauma on you.
And we talked to Lou about it, but we'll go over that here in a minute. I want to know what you saw. If there's any more information to be gathered.
Well, I died twice. I think I know why I'm anxious.
Okay.
Went harder.
I don't know if like I have some fragment of a soul recycled in me or something, but I had vivid memories of another person's life and their bird just in a land I know I haven't been, with creatures I know I haven't seen. Goreth didn't even recognize them when I gave him the description.
Huh.
This is all very
Interesting.
concerning. And you said in that dream they died.
Very certainly.
Okay.
Given one was eaten alive and the other was killed in front of my perspective at the time. I think one of them was the one I was watching from was an elf, so I don't think it was anything from a lineage I could be part of, but it was all very dizzying and worrying.
Yeah, we have a timeline now of when everything's going to boil over. That's nice. That's fun.
Wonderful.
Yeah, roughly 4 to 5 years.
That's faster than I would have expected.
It's faster than I'd like. We've also been given a very valuable piece of information. Like I mentioned, talk to Cyrus and them. And we have to find someone.
Okay.
The details are a bit fuzzy on who they are. It's been 4 years since they were last seen. But
That's very helpful.
we're looking for, well, this will hopefully be more helpful as long as they didn't change their hair. They have unnaturally blue hair, like vibrant blue, with, kind of a bit of a stare, and will apparently respond to your thoughts before you finish them. She's roughly 12 now. And is the keystone between the bridge of, death and time.
Oh, neat. Is that all?
If we lose her, then Hettier gets closer to winning.
Of course.
So she's somewhere on this continent, and we should probably find her before he does.
Okay.
Also today the chips not as salty as they should be. They got skimped on the salt.
Okay.
True injustice.
Oh,
Fluttering noises.
some things that I think will be of interest to you, Tilk. I took the time to ask Goreth about Nalazandris.
Okay.
And unfortunately, her status on pro or anti-het here is very vague.
Sounds about right.
Evidently, even from when Goreth was banished, she's been very quiet about things. And it's hard to say if she's been helping the Nephilim, or if she's simply a neutral party, or what. But I did figure that would be of relevance to you given our feelings on Het here and Nalexandra's relationship with him.
I want alcohol. Who wants alcohol?
Versatile raises his hand.
I'm gonna answer to just get started with something.
So we have a goal that I believe we should pursue. And then we have 2 goals that can net us money for equipment and food and rent while we have a safe place to sleep. The order that we address those things is up in the air.
Well, I think that we do need to attend to things here, at least somewhat. I'm not sure we have the supplies to go out on a wild goose chase for all intents and purposes.
Nope. We need more information. Figure out how to get that more information. Money is useful for getting more information.
Our survival is also a prerequisite for everything else we want to do.
Yes.
I'm not so sure about that at this point, considering our last stint. But with the timeline being truncated as it is, don't think we can afford another 4 years.
I think it would be best if we didn't test the fates by dying repeatedly.
Well, I'm sure the fates are interested to test whether or not we can make it through that. I will acknowledge the bird.
There's a raven still hanging out on the roof, peering down at you all. Head kind of cocked to the side.
It's not as ominous now that I've met you. Only when you try to do the weird speak thing. That's still creepy.
Kind of stares at you.
I may not even be talking to him. I could just be talking to a fucking bird. I'm losing my fucking mind.
No. I mean,
those of you with arcane understanding know that the Forgotten One is not inside the birds. You recall from previous conversations that he cannot. Manifesting on this plane would be very bad.
He'd break it, right?
Locally, at least.
Yeah.
It's funny because Tilk doesn't have any arcane understanding.
But he uses them kind of as a vantage point to watch the flame, though, if I remember correctly. So whether he's watching through this one right now or not, I guess we wouldn't really be able to tell.
I'm content to just argue with a bird. That might just be the Brandon coming out in
Maybe.
Raven flutters off.
At one point in time, I used to think they were cute.
I still think they're cute.
But yeah, so what do folks want to do? The day's ahead of us. And it's,
11 in the morning.
Yep. The entire day's ahead of us. And, got 4 or 5 years. Give or
I think we
take.
should look into those short-term jobs needed for survival.
Yeah.
We should-
resources from that would help with all of our other tasks, I think.
So we should probably pick one to do first, since they are in opposite directions. The Phoenix Feather is to the north, and that one has the potential for us to not have to fight another creature, or battle constant inclement weather. The other one is to the south, where we'd have to haul a bunch of rocks and
That's right.
potentially fight dangerous lightning elementals during a storm. That is perpetual. But it pays more, probably. We'd have to work out the contract.
Hmm.
So,
Wait, has that contract not been worked out?
no, because we never fully agreed to it. But most folks in the city aren't going to go track down a phoenix to try to get a feather. And I can only think of one motherfucker crazier than us that would go risk their life to go into a perpetual magical storm. And mind you, he's headed in that direction, but he doesn't have the capability to carry a bunch of rocks.
Your
like to haul.
Old mentor or somebody else?
Yeah, Caius.
Yeah. I couldn't remember the out of character. I couldn't remember his name for a second, and I kept thinking Kai Fear, and I'm like, no, that was the Inquisitor from a while ago. That's wrong.
So pour one out for Kai Fear, man. Never forget.
Nah, fuck that guy.
Nah, fuck that shit.
He was racist.
Either so those are our options. Potential combat with a phoenix, or more than likely combat with lightning elementals where we have to haul a bunch of rocks in a storm.
Given the stories I've heard about phoenixes, I don't know if combat would be the best way to go about it. If the entire bird burns up when it dies, then there wouldn't exactly be a feather to take afterward.
No, absolutely. It's just, the potential combat part is if we piss it off and it's like, no, get the fuck out. And it's harder for us to walk away with nothing. We could, just pull a feather and scram.
There might be some around its nest already shed.
Also true. We may not even have to interact with it. We just have to, go over there and find out.
That would be about as easy as it could get, I think.
What about everyone else? What's your thoughts?
Immediate finances definitely good, especially because
Yeah,
I'm
we
a little
should-
light on the coin myself.
Might be good to shore that up. We aren't exactly going to help anyone if we are destitute.
All right. So sounds like everyone's all good to track down a flaming bird.
Could be interesting.
Yeah.
What'd you say the thing in your dream looked like?
I don't think it was a phoenix, but some sort of blue feathered bird with black eyes.
Well, I think we might be able to call on Castian to assist in getting us about. If they
He'd certainly be able to expedite any travel we do.
true. Especially since we're not 100% sure, we have a region at best.
I wonder if we could get him to scan for the Phoenix for us.
Worth a shot.
So just heading out of town, flagging down Castian.
Oh, we want to make sure that we get the contract written up with the Alchemist Guild.
Of course.
And see if there's any more information they can give us.
What do you have for your notes on the initial contract?
Let me pull that up. The Tiger Dogs, no. I don't have any notes on an initial contract. It was a discussion that we would need to write up a contract,
Okay.
but no notes on what that would look like.
Cool. So to expedite this a little bit, they'd be willing to pay 1,000 GP for an intact Phoenix feather. Are there any stipulations you would like to make? In addition to that, maybe haggle, whatever.
Yeah.
Would they be willing to pay extra for additional feathers or ashes?
Yes. Although their funds are limited, so they could have a ledger of IOUs depending on how much you bring, or that can be figured out with whatever you bring back.
Yeah.
First, I would be interested in actually having a full alchemy lab or an alchemy kit for travel.
They could definitely see about, as part of the payment, getting you set up with a mobile alchemy lab kit thing.
Yeah.
But that'll be as part of payment. So you need to finish the job first.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Their supplies are they don't have immense back warehouses filled with extra stuff.
Yeah. Trying to think. Tilk isn't a lawyer. He does not know contract law.
There aren't lawyers in the city, so gold leaf is the closest thing you have to a lawyer when it comes to the contracts.
Oh boy.
Should I use knowledge local?
To what?
To help build a contract?
No, I conjure a lawyer. No.
I mean, not particularly. It's I mean, the contract is a legal document in the sense that two parties are coming together to make an agreement on the expectations of what the job is and what the reward for the job is.
Yeah.
This protects you as the person being hired, where you can go to Gold Leaf and be like, look, they owe me this amount. And it also protects them saying they agreed to do this and they didn't fucking do it. They owe me this work, or I'm free of the contract because they didn't complete the work.
Yep.
That's real. It doesn't need fancy verbiage because the society is not at the point where they are like, yes, the contract is a 100-page legal document written in legalese, and you need dedicated people for both parties to decipher what it actually means.
Please, let's
and if
avoid
there is
that.
a problem, you also have to go to a third-party court to resolve. Yeah, like all that is not.
If our society goes that direction,
the contracts are in very simple terms.
Makes sense.
If the society heads in that direction, we need to restart.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep in mind, a lot of the commoners here can't read. So.
Right.
What is is written in pretty simple terms.
It was 1,000 GP altogether.
1,000 GP and the alchemy kit as part of payment for a feather.
And then matters can be discussed if additional resources are brought back.
Yes.
I assume they do not want a baby phoenix.
I'm not sure we'd be able to give them a baby phoenix.
I mean, anything can happen.
There is certainly an interest. They're not going to make an ask of it, but there is certainly some intrigue there.
What exactly constitutes a baby phoenix anyway?
Small.
Yeah, but like if a phoenix dies and is then reborn, is it really a baby?
Yes.
They lay eggs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's true.
Also, it can be a baby, but perfectly intelligent. That just means it's early in its maturation cycle.
It's
just a baby again.
Just imagine the fucking Deadpool 2 movie. His little baby legs.
Exactly. See?
Okay.
On the trolley.
That will be one of those additional items that will likely need more negotiation on.
Yeah.
I don't want to have it as part of a promise, so we will slot Phoenix egg or Phoenix chick underneath additional potential items that require more discussion.
Indeed.
If you but I think that's, unless someone else has something else they want to add to it.
Is there anything they would be willing to supply us with for the sake of better completing this job?
If there are supplies you need, they would be happy to sell them to you.
It was worth a try.
Yep.
You can buy this healing potion subscription for.
As great as things have been going, they have not been exploring very far, and there is limited what things can be used for alchemy. So,
yeah,
they're not just handing things out.
We at least have 2 alchemists, so it shouldn't be too hard to, like, if we get the base supplies to make things.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like, I didn't think it was very likely that they would just give us stuff, but it was worth a try. Didn't lose anything.
Yeah.
If you kill a phoenix and it's that comes back in its chick state, are you robbing the cradle or the grave?
Okay, I think Tilk needs to go to bed
Can
now.
they consent? Or no, wait, neither can in that case.
I think this contract is good. I think we're good from here.
I don't think we're good. Not after that comment.
It's fine. I'll go to hell. It's whatever.
Off to Ozarel we go.
Yay.
Off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Straight to the Forsaken Pools.
That's where my grandpa's from, kind of.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't trust a goddamn thing that comes out of your grandfather's mouth. Tilk is just like, mm-mm.
I am making sure I am well supplied with salt to take it with.
I don't know why you guys distrust him so much. Been nothing but helpful to you.
Look, I feel like if I trusted him completely and without question, he would be at least a little bit disappointed.
Well, maybe.
I know he set his agenda. And I don't know enough about it to just kind of be fully trusting.
So, any other prep you all want to do other than squaring away this contract?
I got nothing. I don't have the money to do any other prep.
Yeah. Let me actually
Don't have
check
any
my
money.
money and see if there is. Wow, I don't have a lot, right? How much is the
we're
healing?
pretty broke.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how much a Cure Leo's potion costs, but I think it's more than like
It's 50 gold.
50.
It's if they don't upsell, if they don't upcharge you because scarcity
resources.
economy.
Yeah, and like a Cure Leo's potion isn't even doing a lot for a level 5 character. So
Yeah, we need cure moderate wounds. Also, like I
Not
do
like
get
broken
3
here.
cure light wounds every day.
Oh, okay,
And
cool.
I can
Yeah, I
pass
have
that
the
out as
healing
well.
X. Or actually, it's moderate wounds now. We're level 5.
Also, can't you heal us with cold damage now?
Yes.
I don't know if Sveta knows that, but I know you're.
She hasn't
mechanic.
tried it out yet. I mean, she
Yeah.
probably feels a little different, but she's not sure if that's because of the nightmare or because Eldritch Heritage is active now.
Yeah. Just don't like mess it up when you first try it and just like kill somebody. Like, oh, I forgot to turn on the healing option.
Yeah.
It's just damage.
Oops.
First, I can pass out potions of Cure Moderate and Cure Light. Or not
Nice.
potion, extract.
Mhm.
They're not full potions.
Yeah. We've got a shelf life.
Technically, no. They are technically indefinite.
At least
Oh,
until
okay.
you prepare something else.
Oh, that's right. The other ones went expired because we died. I forgot.
Yeah, technically, when I die is the only time they expire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, we have some healing, so we're not like in turbo danger for like combat.
Yeah. Oh. I don't think we have enough time for that. Damn it.
What do you mean? You got 4 to 5 years.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not what I was talking about.
4 to 5 business years.
Yeah, we'll get back in 4 to 5 business years. No, because if we're leaving immediately, I don't know if I have enough time to actually go use a horde. Or actually, no. We could probably get away with it just being on Cassian. That has a bunch of miscellaneous crab titan and claws.
Yeah.
I wanted to make some weapons, but I was also going to recruit Liana to help us. But then again, it also requires us to have gold to make shit magical.
Yeah. Broke. That's like part of why I really want to get some money. So
Have that
start
1500
crafting.
GP worth of diamond dust.
That's true.
How bad do you want that gold versus how bad do you want that diamond dust?
That diamond dust might be really important.
Well, I can't cast
I think if we're not
restoration yet,
planning on combat, then we don't need to like get super worried about loading up on stuff too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to have.
I mean,
Hey,
it's good to
fate-
have, but like we have plenty of
fate-
people who can do it naturally.
Fate is a fickle mistress.
Yeah, I get that, but you know, like I said, we still have options.
Yeah.
We should get a cart, at least.
Get a what?
A cart or something.
That was
or
nice
right
the
behind the
last few
ship.
times.
We
Oh, right, yeah.
unless we're just gonna zip zoom around.
That did sound like the plan was to just get up on Castan and
Yeah.
go flying around.
Yeah.
Oh. Can I go to the market?
No.
Oh.
Can
Can I get
Ursula
a-
handle being in the market right now?
Well, here's the thing. If we're going to go flying around
You can-
Castian, and it's going to take us some, we're going to get hungry out there. I was thinking, that's stuff to make food.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Sure.
Provisioning is a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's maybe what if we're gonna
Yeah.
focus on loading up on anything, that would be it.
It's pretty standard ration prices. Of all the things, food is plentiful. So it's standard prices for food. So if
Standard
you want to
prices for
stock up on
food.
rations, you know where to find the information on that.
I will
Well.
spend that money. Buy an amount of rations.
Where is
Don't actually remember how much your ration costs. Did I put that? Okay, I put the weight on my sheet, but I didn't put the cost. Okay.
Do you want to take this moment to cut, since we're sitting here? It's like, oh, I'll buy a couple things.
Well, I think we're actually gonna wrap here very soon.
Okay.
We'll next session we'll hit the ground running with the hunt for Red Shocktober.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I swear to
Casting,
God.
you
If
do
this
You know,
is-
you know.
If
If-
phoenixes are actually just chocobos, I'm going to probably just off myself
No,
here.
you know what Phoenix looks like. I mean, what?
You did ride a bird.
That's like a cryo phoenix, though. I guess at that point.
But isn't? I mean, yeah, but isn't that? Dude, no. I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna walk away.
Yeah, here we go. Rations are 5 silver pieces.
And I don't think Sveta knows that they're like cold phoenixes, right?
Now where you're from.
I mean, you relive that
I mean,
person's whole life.
there's
I don't know if
been myths of phoenixes, but you've never heard of anybody actually seeing one.
Let alone one that's not on fire.
when they
Yeah.
die, they crumble into snow.
Oh no, they turn into slush.
I got 4 days worth of rations. And that will take a lot of my money.
What I have.
Well, I
we have-
have 3 gold. That spends 2 of it.
Actually,
we
how
have-
much space do I have?
Do we have garlic in our settlement?
Fuck, I hope so.
I know why.
Um,
I'm pretty sure I know why you're asking.
No.
Let me check.
Are vampires even weak to garlic?
Man,
I would say yes. There's probably not in huge abundance, but there is a steady supply of garlic that was brought over from Aldfair. It definitely does not grow naturally here. So they transplanted garlic that they brought with them.
Okay. Because I'm going to get potatoes.
And some
I'm
onion.
going to get some cheese. If they have cheese.
Potatoes.
They have goat cheese.
Okay.
They have goat
That's
cheese and aurochs cheese.
That is still cheese. We go
Yes.
get some cheese.
Oh man, are we gonna have loaded baked potatoes?
Something of that nature.
Okay, now I'm very behind this garlic thing.
Here's the
I'm
fun
dying.
fact here's the fun fact for everyone in our party.
Mhm.
Hairstyle kind of also woke up and knows how to cook now.
Matrix style. I know cook food.
I took one rank in profession cook. I know how to cook.
At least a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, hey, if we're gonna be going on a trip and we're gonna travel,
They got visited by the spirits of Gordon Ramsay's past, present, and future.
It's raw, you fucking donkey!
They all scream in unison.
Our favorite tree ship.
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just gonna get a few various things. Probably gonna amount to basically most of what her stuff has as money. And I'm gonna make food.
I'm down to 1 gold piece, sir.
Just down to one chimkin nugget. I still have like 13.
Oh. Miss
I haven't been
Moneybags over
spending
here. I haven't been spending it either.
Oh, stop.
Did you take like no money when we fought those guys at the beginning?
I don't fully remember because I was unconscious at the time.
Yeah, we divided it up evenly. It ended up being like 13 gold and some such. I remember we've had this conversation a few times.
I remember that I have a bunch of silver and copper.
Also, we're still recording. Do we want to?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I figure I'll let you all do your shopping and your little bantering bits and stuff.
Oh my
and,
god, I felt like we entered and then we're just shopping. Oh my god, my brain.
No.
Fucking ignore me. I'm just what you call stupid as fuck.
I mean, we're at the point, listener, if you want to check out, you can. You're not going to miss anything at this point. But,
Getting some extra getting an extra water skin too is probably fine.
It's been a while since we recorded. So I figure just, let us have this time to do a little shopping, do a little,
I don't
I
really
know
have
what
anything I want to get.
I know what I spent my money on.
What?
We should.
A water skin.
Wait, how much did that cost?
Yeah.
1 GP.
It was 1 GP, and then I bought rations again. We had to buy it at a higher rate when in the city.
Oh, we should buy these things.
Is it pronounced kumis?
Yes.
Is that
obviously,
called
it's
like
cummies.
beverage?
I will end you.
Oh my god. It's
Fermented
from
horse
horses.
milk.
Alcoholic beverage made from fermented horse milk has approximately the same potency as typical beer. It is served cold. Jeez, what does
Only
fermented
problem
milk
is-
taste like? I can't even imagine.
There are no horses here.
Where they got that is a mystery then.
Also, yes, horse milk and otherwise told to you by the Forest fandom.
But yeah, potatoes, chicken meat. Oh, do we have chickens here? No, we don't.
No, there are no chickens.
Yeah, we didn't really bring any livestock as far as I know.
Yeah.
Did Sveta bring any T-Rex leftovers?
Got a good amount of red meat
Very possibly.
and
Hey.
white meat with fish.
Roll 1d4.
Okay. That's a 2.
You have 2 pounds of T-Rex meat that has been gentle reposed.
Okay.
So it will keep for 10 days.
I appreciate the doggo.
Nice. I don't remember if I said I got 5 days of rations.
Did as well.
I assume there's like a well somewhere to fill water skins and stuff.
Yeah.
Up. Actually, do I have enough? Okay, good. The
They
weight of
actually
the
have
water
a,
skins already factored.
They kind of have a thing ran by the faithful where they purify water.
Oh, nice. Did they just like get it out of the ocean?
Yeah, it's kind of it's like south of the docks, in between the docks and the salt farms. There's like a whole station where they get water and they use magic to purify it.
Oh, okay. Is salt also a byproduct of that process? They just get salt out of it too.
When they're doing the purification magic and stuff now. But
Okay.
like I said, there is a salt farm a little ways down the beach.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily create pure water, but that's where all of the city salt comes from, is those salt farms.
And that place is now over aspected in salt ether.
Yes. Actually is just the burn.jpg.
Server League of Legends was developed.
Yes.
But now before rations, I can create water, so we should be fine on that. So can
How
prep
much are
that
the peppers?
today.
Oh, the peppers are depends which peppers you're trying to get. If you're just getting like the regular ones, they're like a copper. If you want the really spicy ones, those aren't as common. Those are like copper.
Okay. I'll get a variety of peppers. I got potato, got cheese, got a variety of peppers. Not entirely sure if I want to grab any fish, so I don't have anything to keep the fish. Oh well, actually, I could smoke it. It'll take a while, but I could smoke it.
cheap. They got salt for days. It's sea salt, but they got salt.
Oh, cool. Salt is cheaper. Yeah.
Yes. Like whatever they listed as, it's like 50% off.
Oh my
It's a
god,
really
that
good
means
thing.
salt is actually affordable. Hell yeah.
Oh, nice. So a really good thing you could make with the materials that are in abundance here is you get a jar or whatever other kind of sealed container, fill it with salt water, and then use that to store and ferment fish for a while to make definitely a much beloved real life dish.
What's that?
I'm waiting for Fisk to react to that.
Oh, I was reading something, so
I was telling Ali that of something that could definitely be made here with materials that are in abundance is you take a jar or some other sealed container, but I think it's usually a jar, fill it with salt water, and then store and ferment fish in it.
mm-hmm.
to make a much beloved real life dish.
You take brine, actually. Yeah. So
Yeah.
not exactly preserve it in salt, and then you let it
Oh, I
rot
thought it was
for a
the
while.
water.
Yeah. Well, it's the brine part of it, and well, then it's just gonna rot there for a while and turn into surströmming. And then you have a biological weapon on your hand.
Yeah, especially well known for its wonderful aroma.
Some 12-year-old out here like a biological weapon and then tries to make it.
You're just making garum is all you're making.
What's garum?
Oh my god, that is so pungent.
It is. It was
So
our ancient Worcestershire sauce.
Oh,
So, surströmming, if someone opens a can, you can smell it over the entire neighborhood.
That's funny.
I guess it's like open underwater and stuff, so that it's not instantly terrible.
Well, over here they just open it in the sky because people are used to the smell. So,
Oh, that's fair, I guess.
Do we have wheat?
I think we have
No.
a form of it. Oh, I thought
That's
we
why
had
everything is like
pornography.
tortillas.
Yeah,
no,
everything like that's why it's like tortillas essentially are super common because there is no wheat here.
I assume they're corn tortillas rather than.
Yeah, it's all corn based because corn has been growing locally here.
and then it turns out we found sorghum, and then we can make the worst tasting alcohol ever.
Which one is
Yeah,
that?
Shaolin wine, or whatever it is. What's it called, actually?
Right, so I'm grabbing cheese, peppers, potatoes. We're having some salt.
This is I don't know how you pronounce it.
Oh, Italian liquor.
Yes.
I don't think I've heard of that.
It does not taste good at all. It tastes like rotting wet dog.
Oh god.
Doesn't we have
Rotting
cornmeal
wet
too?
dog. Damn.
But it also like kicks your it has like a spiciness to it too that is like it kicks you in the face. So it's like that, and then sometimes you get like depending on which variant of it is, it like it smells like chemicals, tastes like chemicals, it gets the feeling of being near a refinery, etc. But it also burns and has weird peppery notes. And the reason for that is because sorghum, which is the type of barley that's used for it, doesn't really have any natural enzymes that break down the sugars. So they have to do a rotting process that leaves in a lot of very funky notes. It's not great.
So if we have corn, that also means we probably have something like cornmeal, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Have some corn and cornmeal at the same time.
Fuck yeah, corn!
Grab some
Behold, corn.
You prefer
Ooh.
hardcore corn or softcore corn?
I'm going to
I get
assume
the
that Aurochs meat is probably going to be expensive. Even
What's
though
going to be
it's
expensive?
Aurochs meat.
Borax meat? I mean, compared to the other proteins around, yes, it's more expensive. But like, I'm not sure if the Pathfinder SRD has it probably only has like beef, right?
Doesn't even list B, sadly.
Jesus.
They have like chicken.
Chimkin. See.
Like they have the live animal itself, so that's why I'm like, not sure what
Yeah.
that's gonna be.
Let's see. Here's food and drink. I guess it's trade goods, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty good. It might be under.
Hmm.
Might be under just regular
Yeah.
adventuring gear.
I'd say it's probably like yeah, it's probably like 3 silver for a pound.
Actually, not too bad.
Yeah, like compared to like foodstuffs in general, it's not terrible. It's just compared to other proteins, it is the more expensive one. Because like fish, I mean, a lot of the fish, a lot of the the white fish is like you get a fish for a copper. The boar meat is also generally cheaper.
Oh, we have
probably be
boar?
more like a silver. Yeah, there are wild boar in the area that they've begun farming.
Got some more meat, get some bacon. So, first we'll probably be down to like a gold and some silver and copper after everything. Hell yeah. But yeah, Earthstyle knows how to cook, and Earthstyle will make food for our journeys.
Or
Yeah,
two, the first time you net
technology.
one with it.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I would still probably not fail with a nat one.
Oh man. Well, I think this is a good point to go ahead and wrap it up. Y'all
Good
are
place
free
for
to
any.
continue shopping or whatever, and we'll hit the ground running next session.
Yeah, we got a whole new mission.
For those of you that
Huzzah.
stuck around, even though we were kind of winding down a bit, thanks. Like, comment, subscribe. Wait, wrong platform. Twitch Prime. Wait, shit, wrong platform.
Still the wrong platform.
Tell your
can
friends.
Give us money, just wire us money to
Follow.
this undisclosed account.
Hey, you can follow artists on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just follow us and tell your friends. And if they tell 10 of their friends and all 10 of their friends tell 10 of their friends, we'll exceed the number of people in the universe.
Yeah, and you guys will all get platinum, which means nothing.
Yes.
That guy on the corner, he works for us. What he's selling you, when he says he's selling you a good time, he's talking about our podcast.
Yeah, that's it.
If you are below the age of 18 and are a child, please note that was a joke. Please do
Do not talk
not
to
go.
strangers.
Do not talk to random fucking strangers on the corner. That is how
Yeah.
you get kidnapped.
Especially if this guy is leaning and hanging out around the corner and doesn't apparently have a job. Definitely don't talk to that guy. Because if they got time to lean, they've got time to scheme.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. See you on the next episode of Actual Play Broadcast. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.